Hello guys and welcome back. Today we want to talk about men's fears. I'm talking a little bit positive about that because I hope that today we will discuss fears that we have listed on our Telegram community. By the way, if you're not a member of our free Telegram community, the link in the description below, please join. It's the community where you can ask questions. We post there different videos of my events with the girls and some tips and advice and updates. So we asked this question, we've done a survey, and we will name a few of the fears of the guys that have when they start dating Slavic ladies.
Not even when they start, but why these fears may be why they won't do it. Yeah, and if you have some other fears, in the comment section.
So Striker done an incredible job. His math skills are absolutely outstanding, and he prioritized. So there are 6 categories we divided of the fears that the guys shared.
So
compatibility.
20% of the guys said cultural and personal adaptation. It sort of goes into that category. 15% said financial expectations. I thought this was going to be higher. 15 is trust and intentions. I thought that would be higher. 15 is personal growth and emotional investment, and then 10% is other concerns, religions, shared values, etc.
Yeah. So let's discuss step by step what was there. So compatibility and relationship. Sorry that we're looking down, but we are actually having a big list and we're reading from that. So compatibility and relationship. The guys were worried. 25% of the guys worry about. So I guess they are having children. They have children already, and they're looking for the lady with children as well. And so they worry that children accepting each other, or maybe the children accepting their new wife. Is it a problem or not a problem? It can be, but I think that everything depends on your relationship with children. So, of course, having a new member, it's always can be a challenge. And it's not necessarily like new wife. It can be even like when you have a pet. You know, it's like it's a new member in a family. Sorry that I compare a woman with a pet, but it's like it's a new member, and you may have some challenges, some new habits that you have to admit or adjust to. So it will take some time. A lot of our clients, they have children, and so it's always working out. Like there's sometimes at the beginning, most of the time, there is a little bit of a conflict, but not a conflict. It's really not accepting, because they worry that, you know, they heard something about Slavic lady and they worry that she will scam or will offend.
The children are worried about that?
Yeah, no, we're speaking about children not 5 years old. We speak about children who are like teenagers or adults, you know, and they are worried. Yes, they are worried, and this is true. But it always takes a little bit of a time, because Ukrainian ladies, when they move to the West, they always, they're very friendly, and they want the family to love them. So they always are buying them something, they always talking to them, they always trying to become their friend, and it usually take up to maximum half a year for the children to understand, okay, my dad is happy with this woman, my dad is really in a good hands, and then they relax. So
I can sort of see like where that would be, because, you know, a new stepmother has come into play, and you know, there's always that joke about how the stepkid will say, "You're not my dad." So, I mean, I guess there's like, if it's a daughter who's living with the father, there's going to be this jealousy that's always going to come. There's another female that is in the house.
Exactly.
And so, you know, and she would not want her dad. Like she may not be at the cognitive level yet to understand that her dad needs to be happy. And she's only at the level of, he's my dad, no one's taking my dad away. So, I mean, these are things that maybe you have to deal with. They're definitely not deal breakers. Well, they shouldn't be. I guess I mean, I don't really know how you would manage that. I don't really have any advice because I don't have any experience with that. But I guess it depends on the kids as well. So, yeah.
Just communication, and patience. That is all you can really advise.
And just tell your new missus to buy her heaps of gifts. No?
It depends. To buy her? Are you talking about daughter? Yeah. The next fear, don't name the names, okay?
No, I'm not going to name the names.
No.
Tattoo hand. So this one here, these go in together, and this is really very interesting. Okay, so fear that she won't love him as much as he won't love him. Fear that she won't love him as much as he loves her, and it says personality changing over time, but I guess attraction changing over time. And there was another one that went with that, which was falling out of love after the honeymoon phase. Okay, I have some views on this. So instead of, you know, people always talk about the honeymoon phase will end, and that's horrible, because as if we're supposed to expect that the honeymoon phase will go on forever. Of course it will end. Whenever there's something new, it's always very good. You buy a new car, It's awesome. And then after a while, it's like, it's just the car. I've got to clean it. It's the same mundane sort of, I know this word. It's the same old thing over and over again, right? So I think that relationships should be taught like this. And this is how you should teach them to your children or whatever. Is that relationships are like a book. And each book, has its chapters in it. It's not that one chapter is better than the other chapter. It's not like the first chapter is the best chapter in a book. If it was, you wouldn't read the rest of the book, right? So you actually go from one chapter to another. So think of it as going from this level to a completely different level and a completely different level again. Because when you are, 55 years old and you met when you were 35 years old, you can't expect the same love, how we define the word love, to be the same. When you are 35 and you just met, there's passion, and the sex is incredible. As time goes on, you have to understand that the love has changed. It hasn't got worse if we just understood that there's these different stages to love. Each one is, depending on how you interpret it, is getting stronger and deeper than the other one. That's my view on it anyway. I don't know. I thought I'd say that. So you will 100% fall out of the honeymoon phase, but it doesn't mean that your relationship is going downhill, right? It just means that maybe the passion is not there. Maybe you now have kids, and maybe you've got to deal with other aspects of life that are not so romantic. But just think of it as like stages, different love stages.
Yeah, but also I think that she won't love me the way I love her. I think that's why people are dating, and so it's important to see the relationship, how they're going. And I pretty much see that from the beginning you see her attitude to you, and if you see that the attitude is not good or not the way you expected, then it's better to finish it then than to try to get married and think, maybe when we get married it will get better. So
can I go a little bit deeper on that one?
Sure.
So if the fear is that she's not going to love you as much as you love her, it's more a question of self-worth than anything. So it's not that you need her to love you in order for you to feel a certain way or be a certain man. It's that you should love yourself enough, and if she doesn't, it really doesn't matter. And just to add to that, changing personality over time, you will both change. You absolutely will both change. You will both become annoying to each other, right? They will. They'll become annoying, and you'll have
Why
these
you
little
looked at me?
I'm just looking at you for your approval.
Yes, very annoying.
So your personalities will change over time, but it's accepting those changes and understanding what I said before. There's different chapters to the book.
Yeah, and especially if you go together, then it will be just adjustment. Because you will change anyway once you start living with somebody. And
everything will change. Physically, mentally, emotionally.
Don't discourage the guy. Okay,
religiously.
Number 2, 20% of the guys worry about cultural and personal adaptation. So first, somebody wrote she can't adapt in a new country, cultural differences, language challenges, it's all kind of related. So I work as a matchmaker for 15 years. Hard Rocket is we can't count.
Can't decide.
Can't decide. It's 7 or 8 years, but the idea is that will it be difficult for her to adapt a new country? Absolutely yes. There is only maybe 5% of the ladies that are fish in the water no matter where they go. Today America, okay, we need to live in Europe, okay, we're moving because he's working, okay, but most of the time it's a little bit more challenging for them to adapt in a new country. But absolutely everybody do. Or does. Everybody. They do, right?
Do.
So,
Does.
No, everybody.
Everybody does.
Okay. So, they all can. They all can adapt. It will take some time, and it will need your help. It will need your help because will she have language challenges? Absolutely. Even I do have them when I go to United States because somebody understands my accent, somebody don't, or doesn't. Sure, I don't know. So somebody
some of them don't want to.
Don't want to. So don't. Okay. they are like, I remember how I went to Vegas, and there's a lot of like Mexican people working, and I came there with British friends, UK friends, and they both speak English, but they just can't understand each other whatsoever. Like I have struggled like to understand sometimes people from UK. So it's all doable. Like it should not be your fear, because it's part of the process. And when you're helping your lady to adjust to these new changes and to understand the culture, to help her, that is what making you feel closer together. That is what helping you to build that bond together, because she knows that she can rely on you and she trusts you much more. Agree?
Yeah.
Next one,
yeah.
Financial expectations, 15%. So guys are worrying that they will run out of money due to high expectations. They concerns about affording her financial wants, and fears of what?
Of gold digger.
Of gold digger.
Okay.
You name it.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll go to this one here, which is the fear of a gold digger. We hear this because whenever we speak to someone on a consulting call, they'll tell us what they don't want in a woman, right? And we let them speak, and they say, I don't want a woman that's lazy, that's a gold digger, that's this, bitchy, whatever. And I say, like, it's the same for every guy. What you're asking for is not some thing that we've never heard of before, and we're thinking, oh my God, how are we going to figure this one out? And I say, it's what every guy is looking for, right? And it's not like, this is what I say to them, it's not like you're going to wake up one day in 2 years' time and she's going to be sitting there on the couch with Gucci handbags and, expensive items and a little tiny dog that costs $8,000, and you go, where did this come from? So part of the matchmaking process is to make sure that the woman that you are being matched with is at your level when it comes to, I guess, economic viability, right? We'll say that. So you're not going to get a gold digger. A gold digger is not going to sit around for 6 years and live in a lifestyle that she's not used to, and then all of a sudden just say, yeah, I'm looking for all of this, fancy stuff. So fear of encountering a gold digger, maybe if you go to some sort of like scam website or something like that, but you'll see it straight away. And maybe you go out on a date with her and you think this woman is a gold digger. Okay, you should know enough by now if you've followed our videos to say, this is not the woman I want to be with. Why would I go on a second date with her, right? So, and maybe you get stuck with an expensive meal or something like that, and however you met her on Tinder or whatever. Well, then yes.
First and the last meeting.
Yeah, it's
you make the decision, I also a little bit surprised when they say running out of money due to her high expectations. But you're like, it's not that you do arranged marriage, right? Like when you don't know with whom you will end up. You dating the person, you meet the person, you learn about their habits, interests, and like if she's all about money, buying stuff, spending money, you just literally will not be with this person. Like I don't know, like I don't think that the person really becoming this person. If you allow her to, then yes, but in general, like if she understands who you are, how you live, and if she has higher interest, because you're not meeting like a 18 years old girl, right? And you start living together and then you become rich, and everything. No, but you're meeting adult personality, and she either like that or she is not.
Yeah, and for some reason, whenever men think about Ukrainian women, they think of like a 22-year-old on a yacht in Dubai, with Gucci handbag. That's what they literally think Ukrainian women are like. And they think they're all like that. And it's like, but that doesn't make any sense because it's, it's a country.
Disappointment.
It's a country, in poverty. And some women get that lifestyle, right? But I'm telling you right now, you watching this video will never meet a woman who gets invited to a yacht in Dubai and gets showered with $100,000 worth of gifts while she's doing what she has to do with a bunch of sheiks. You're not ever going to meet those women, okay? They're an elite class of, if you want to call them elite class of women, right? You're going to meet a woman who's an accountant. You're going to meet a woman who works as a receptionist, a woman that maybe does yoga Pilates as a part-time job, but she also, works in some clothing store for children. That's who you're going to meet. You're not going to meet these women, right? You're not a sheik, and you're not a multi-millionaire who understands that those women can be bought. They'll do whatever they want them to do. They'll buy them some gifts and tell them to get lost. So you're not even in that level. I'm telling you right now, because I know that because you're watching this video. You're not on your yacht. Worried about it. You're not worried about it. Okay?
Yeah. So the next 15% of the guys were worried about trust and intentions. So they have fear of financial what?
Fear of financial exploitations, sending money to her family.
Sending money to her family, worry about being used.
So, don't do dumb shit.
Yeah, so according worry to being used, I think again it's pretty obvious. If like, should you support your family or should you send a gift to your mother for the holidays? You know, of course, you making a decision. Like once you're a family, you making a decision together.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think that you would really worry about this if you are loving, like you have a loving family, you have children, and you know all of a sudden your mother got sick. You know, maybe she's still in Ukraine, and so she needs to help her. She needs to send her some money, or maybe it's a holiday. Will you really not support your mother-in-law? Like, will you really say, "Oh, sorry, like, you know, I love you very much, darling, but it's on you"?
Yeah.
Like.
Can I just say, but he's talking about exploitation. So exploitation pretty much means that, you know, he's being taken advantage of or scammed, right?
So if you're talking about letter writing, when you're just chatting with someone and then she starts saying, you know, my grandmother is sick,
Yeah.
and my roof is leaking, and my
grandmother is leaking.
Yeah, and leaking. So, you know, then it's of course like, and you need to be like, if you're watching us for so many years and over like what we have 500 videos, like you should have known that this is all scam. But
Yeah.
if you are married to a wife and you're having a good relationship and, you know, she want to send some money to her family, or she want to like send some gift to her family, or needs to give them some help, then of course, like I think it's any family would do that.
Yeah, if you change, it says fear of financial exploitation. If we change that to financial expectation, then yes, of course, if your family is sick, even if it's, you know, your mother's, your wife's mother or whatever, something happens to her, why would you not want to help her? I mean, in the eyes of your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, your partner, like you're the man, you get shit done, okay? So this is part of the idea of leaving the West, when maybe your wife would sort that out and you don't have to worry about it. It's you're taking the leadership role. And when you take the leadership role, along with that comes responsibility. Okay, so you have to take that responsibility with the leadership. You can't have, I want to be the leader of this relationship, but I also don't, like, I don't want to be responsible for all this when anything happens,
Yeah.
okay?
That is not how relationship like going.
Yeah, and so when it says like sending money to her family, this question here, okay, so this one here, the same one, it says, basically what it's saying is, I'm worried to trust women, right? And so basically what it's saying is, I don't trust women. We made a video, I think, a while back. I think there's actually a blog post on our website as well. When somebody says, I don't trust women, it's not that you don't trust women, it's you don't trust yourself to make the right decision with this woman. So you're afraid that this woman will trick you somehow and you would not see it coming. So that's not her problem, that's your problem by making wrong decisions. And so, yeah, it's something you have to deal with. But if you, like, a lot of this stuff's so easy. Just open your eyes, basically. If a woman is like taking advantage of you,
It's obvious.
it's obvious. But I know that guys go to these letter writing websites and a beautiful woman, or they've gone to Ukraine to some sort of event, whatever. And she's beautiful and she's saying that she loves you and that she, you know, age is not a big deal or whatever. They take that chance.
Yeah.
The common sense goes this way, and he goes, I've got to take my chances with her because I may never get this opportunity again. And then it's a scam, and they go, oh, she's a scammer. And it's like, but it was obvious that it was a scam. It was obvious that you're getting taken advantage of. You should have had enough power to step away and go, yeah, this is bullshit. She's 25 and I'm like 65, whatever. And yeah, I got scammed. Okay, fool me once, fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Okay, 15% of the guys are worried about personal growth and emotional investment. What they mean here, it's like this. So worry that
No, you
about
missed one.
No, I said that because this is like doesn't.
Okay.
So stress and importance of open communication, time investment, and the second one is maturity. Maturity and self-knowledge as a key concern. So stress and importance of open communication. I always teach my ladies, as you know, I do a lot of coaching for the ladies, that you both with your man need to set up rules of this game, because like not a game in a bad way, but game of like, it's your life, you know, it's your movie. So you need to make a decision, how do you solve the problems? I'm very glad that nowadays people are much more smarter and mature according to solving the problems and conflicts, for example. They're not closed, they're not shutting the doors, they're not yelling and screaming. They said, okay, or like they prevented by saying, you know what, I don't like when you do this. Like, please don't ever do it again, okay? Okay? And so if you love the person would say, But I like and try to convince you that what he was doing, it's like because he will continue doing, or you say, yes, I'm sorry, I got it. So you need to be mature enough to understand that open communication is the key. And Ukrainian ladies, as I say, now become very much aware of this, that only communication can help. And sitting there and waiting until somebody will read your mind and understand, it doesn't literally work. So it is a fear, but it's not that fear of
Can I just say
that can be fixable.
Yeah, like this is a fear regardless of whether it's a Slavic woman or whatever, is that you're with a person with a level of maturity, as providing you also have a level of maturity that is, well, I guess you have to match each other's level of maturity, I suppose, but that the woman has enough maturity to sit back and say, okay, what do I need to do to get this fixed? Okay, so did somebody make a mistake? And quite often in arguments, nobody will admit that, okay, I'm wrong, or she's going to say, well, I'm wrong. It's the way it is. We still love each other. We still want this relationship to go forward. Can we move past this? Is this just a little bridge that we have to put some blocks on to make the bridge stronger so that we can get over it? That's where the emotional maturity comes from. It's not, will she submit to me when I want to do something at all? And it's a difficult thing when you think about that, when it comes to like the actual matchmaking, right? Because conflict resolution is a major part of a relationship, right? And you can be in a relationship for 6 months and never have a big blow up, right? But when you do, you realize that she's throwing something, she's throwing a plate at you, or he's kicking down the door, whatever it is. And there's no way to tell what somebody is like until they're in that situation. So there's no test that we can ask the man, like, how do you resolve conflicts? And he'll say, well, I like to speak about them, sit down, have a cup of tea. She says, yes, I like to listen to my member. But we will never know until you're in that situation. And it's not even that situation. She may react differently to you than she would another man, right? Maybe it's some sort of a shit test. Maybe she's doing something to wind you up. She's trying to figure something out. So we don't know. But it's trying to understand when you get to that stage, that conflict, how are you both going to react with each other? And you as the man who's the leader in this relationship should be able to kind of calm it down somewhat. Do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
That's not to say that you say, okay, I'm wrong, whatever, but it's to be able to get over it. Yeah.
And I also honestly, I believe that all of these questions are very easy to identify, especially with us. Like when you start talking to the lady, you're not going to meet with her and in a week and get married in 2 weeks. So you're talking to this person, and it's always part of the process. It's part of the dating when you qualifying each other and you finding out, if she's mature enough, or she is like this, or she's like that, or she's complaining
about it. So you speak to multiple women.
Yeah. So that's why you need to talk to multiple. Okay, and the last one, 10% other concerns, religion, values. So religion and life outlook, that is, I don't think that should be a fear. It's just like when you do it yourself, it can be difficult, but when you do it with the matchmaker, so we have a lot of guys, we had a couple of guys who are, for example, Mormons, and some ladies are 100% no to that. Somebody say, yes, I understand it. And so everything depends. For example, with the religion question, would you like her to convert to your religion, or you just don't want her to be mine that you are doing that? That is one question. If you strongly believe in one certain religion, we not recommend to discuss it on the very first call, but we always take it in consideration. So if I request the lady, I say, this guy is very religious, he's going to church 5 days a week, for example. So that is not really fear. If you do it with a matchmaker, then the matchmaker will solve this fear for you. And another one is disappointments with
can I say this one?
Yes, read it.
So disappointments with unrealistic expectations from Hollywood depictions. So when I first started reading that, I was thinking, so the man will be disappointed with the Ukrainian woman. But then I thought, no, hang on. What he's asking here is that do Ukrainian women think that all Western men look like, I don't know, Tom Cruise?
Not even live lifestyle, the movies, because
yeah, exactly. Because if you think about this for a second, and we can tie this all together. So do all men think that Ukrainian women are 22 years old on a yacht with a Gucci handbag and all that?
Our favorite answer. Some of them do.
Some of them do, don't. And some of them don't, right? And so you could relate this directly to this question here. Do some Ukrainian women want a man who lives in Miami, drives a Lamborghini, and does she think all men are like that? Some of them do, some of them don't. But like I said before, most women are not going to get that man, right? That man is not interested in her. Just like most women who are number 11s on the scale of attraction are in Dubai getting flown out and doing their things with the sheiks. you're not going to be in contact with them. So Ukrainian women, for the most part, just like the men have realistic expectations, for the most part, a Ukrainian woman who is looking at dating a Western man has done some research into what it is really like. And she understands that she's not expecting to be in a Miami mansion
Right.
on the hill by the sign in Hollywood.
But of course, everybody watching this movie is romantic, New York, and everybody dream to visit. And like they always say, oh, like New York, New York, New York. You know, to be honest, I've been the same. And 11 years ago, when I first time went to US, I said to all of my clients, I have been in US. And they said, no, you haven't. Like you've been in New York. And I said, but New York, it's United States. And the guy said, no, dear. When I started traveling, and I've been in 27 states, of course, I understand that New York is a very different thing. And more than this, I would say that New York is nothing like in the movies. Like I do not feel safe when I travel there. Like it's cool, it's nice, big building, these billboards, this Manhattan, but only these like couple of streets. The rest, like when I need to go to the subway, I'm like, okay, there's rats and there's like people and everything. So like I'm not like wow excited about that, and I'm not feeling. And I always explain that to the ladies that what we see in the movies, it's like always it's stay in the movie, but also what they see the culture of Christmas, they see the culture of Thanksgiving. So focus on the good things, that the movies are presenting something. And maybe you're not celebrating Christmas that big, or maybe you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, or maybe you not have this tradition, but the lady is aware. And Ukrainian ladies always bringing this festive mood, I would say, to the guy's life. They decorate the house, they like it, especially when the guy give this opportunity to the lady that she can go to the shop. Because honestly, I'm from Ukraine. I never felt that, I live in a poverty country and that we don't have like stuff. But even when I traveled a little bit, I thought, just like Ukraine is just cheaper than US. Yes, there are some things, but like when I start living in Europe and when I see everything that, like when you go to the shop, like decoration, it's 100 times more choices than in Ukraine, like in one little shop. Or when I go like to the stationery shop with Max, I'm mesmerized by amount of pens. I didn't even know that so many pens can exist. And of course I see the difference now. But moving to a different country that is more developed, then give you opportunity to go and buy different toys. Not just like in Ukraine, we were collecting the toys, from ages, because there was nothing to buy. And then when somebody was giving you a toy, it was like, oh wow. Now of course, okay, this year we're gonna have these toys, then we throw. It's not the right attitude maybe, but this is like the progression that we have. So the lady will bring to your life definitely a lot of changes, and there would be something that you will need to adjust, because a lot of Ukrainian ladies start going to the farmers market because they want to get their fruits and vegetables, and the guy is like, why do we need to go to the farmers market if we can buy everything in a Walmart? But she will not, and so there would be time, but these all changes are for the best. And you can ask any of our clients who are married and who already like in a relationship, even like one of our guys, I think I speak about that in another video. He sent me a video of the breakfast that he made, because he always made this like fried eggs and bacon, and then he sent like something super healthy. He said, look, I made a breakfast for me and my wife. I said, like, you've done it? So it's like
he made a joke. He said that guys are worrying about their wives becoming westernized, but I've become easternized.
Easternized, yeah. Ukrainianized.
Ukrainianized.
Yeah, so these fears are, I did this video for my girls and I asked them their fears, so I can share with you on Telegram their fears also. But I've done, and I said that to have fears, it's good. Because if you have fears and if you want to make things better, it means that you care. You care about your relationship. You want them to move to another level, to move to another dimension, I would say. So that is completely normal. But sometimes your fears are not allowing you to move forward. That is the problem that I see. People are scared. Oh, maybe I will get scammed, so I will better be alone till 99 years old and I will never date anyone. So that is a wrong approach.
And the women have fears as well about men
absolutely,
in general, or Western.
So, a lot. But I, from my side, try to help them to understand that it's not that difficult and not that scary. So we hope that you like this video. If you have any other fears, please put them down below. And
dating related or otherwise.
And I'm waiting for you on our Telegram community. And check it out, our new game together. If you don't know what it is, check the website.
Link in the description below. Catch ya.
Bye.